Hello, it's Megan. Today we are going to show you how to present your message. We're going to show you how to hire your guides to get people started. That's really the job of your natural solutions handout that I want you guys to have open so you can see what a class looks like. And of course, your launch guide as well. You can go to present the message right in the middle of it. Okay? So, again, what's the job? What are we hiring the guides to do this week? To get people started with essential oils. So now you have learned to share. You've been actively working on building relationships and nurturing that list that you created on your success tracker and growing it, adding people to it, right? And you've invited people to either a one-on-one appointment with you, to a webinar, or to a class. So what do you do next? You get really comfortable with using your resources because anybody in doTERRA can be an expert with a book and a box. This is all about teaching people about natural solutions for healthy, empowered living. So there are two different presentations that I'm quickly going to break down because I want to make sure that you have what you need to be able to effectively teach people about the product and teach people about the business, depending on where your people are falling in pipes, okay? So once you've invited people to learn more from you, you know that those people are ready to hear your message. So your presentation is already on the right track because you know the people that are in the room with you are excited to be there. You know that they've likely had a powerful experience because you provided that for them. And now you just get to be the expert. This is really about keeping it simple and letting the guides do the talking and letting the oils do the talking. So they're in a class with you with the natural solutions handout in front of them that's going to show them the modern approach for healthcare and the natural approach to healthcare. And we can all understand both sides of that, but it's going to lay that out in a very clear way for them. And I ask people, which approach would you prefer? Sure, we can use both approaches, right? There's a time and a place for modern medicine. Thank goodness for that, right? But what about those, little everyday use things? What about lifestyle? What about addressing root causes of concerns that we have? Can we look at the natural approach? Totally. I like to break the class down exactly how it's laid out here in your launch guide. In the very beginning, it's about making connections. It's about sharing a little bit about your story. Because again, like we talked about in the last video, what do people like to do? They like to talk about themselves. So while they want to know who you are, they don't necessarily want to know a 10-minute story about your doTERRA experiences. You're going to be able to share these in different ways that don't involve you talking about yourself for 10 minutes. They want to talk about them. So making connections in the beginning. Asking people to go around the room, share their name. If you've got a class of, 4 or 5 people, this is great, which is, ideal. Asking people to just raise their hand, share their name, and why they're in the room with you, why they're excited to be there, okay? Building those connections. It's also creating a sense of community and people are understanding, oh, she's here because her kids have, are coming home sick from school. Or she's here because she can't sleep through the night. Okay, so they're kind of doing a little bit of the work for you because they're getting new ideas of how they can use essential oils. So we want to keep our class to 40 to 50 minutes max. I even like to say if you can shoot for 30, because if you go a little bit over, that's okay. But you want to be keeping it short and sweet. You have to understand that while you have these guides in front of you, people are not going to remember every single thing you said. And that's okay. When we hire the guides, we know that they're going to have the resources and the know-how because we've empowered them to find out these answers to questions they're going to still have after the class because our support doesn't end at the class. So if you can shoot for 30 minutes and you go over, that's great. That's okay. But you want to keep it to 40 to 50 minutes max. You're going to lose people's interest and you're going to lose their focus and they're not going to retain everything you're saying anyway. Short and sweet is much better. So you're going to spend about 10 minutes on essential oils what they are, and what makes doTERRA so special. Personally, I think you can do this part a little bit faster than that, but that's giving you a good guideline. You're going to spend about 5 minutes talking about health priorities. So this is where the need to solution sort of thought comes into play. And I love this because you already know why everyone's in that class with you. So what are you going to be focusing on when you're presenting your message about the product? You're going to focus on what their health priorities are. You already know why they're there. I like to keep it very simple by showing the top 10 essential oils. Why? Because they are in all of the kits, from the smallest kit up. Of course, the Aroma Touch kit, and there are a couple where they're not going to have the basic top 10 starter kits. However, my intention is to teach people how to have natural solutions for many needs. So I really like focusing on any kits that have those top 10 oils, those top 10 sort of basic starter oils. That's what I like to have in front of me. Because you've already asked what people's needs are, you can adequately share the solution. So you're going to teach about those top 10 oils. We're also going to talk about lifelong vitality because it's so critical for our foundation for wellness. That's my deserted island product, and I tell people that every time I talk about it. So that's about 10 to 20 minutes of your class. That's really going to be the bulk of your class because you're going to be taking people from whatever their need is to the appropriate solution. You're planting seeds the entire time, right? The next piece is you're going to have about 9 minutes or so to explain membership options. We keep this very simple because we don't want to overwhelm people. We want to make sure that people are getting the best value, and we want to make sure that they have the correct tools for their needs home. So what I like to do is actually help them choose a kit because I know that it's the smartest way for somebody to get their product home. They're going to get the best value. They're going to get the best variety of essential oils to start with, and they're going to get their year membership included in that price. So that's a no-brainer. What I like to do beyond that is actually only show them 2 kits to start with. Are there other kits available? Of course. Do you want to be comfortable speaking to those kits? Totally. But what I've done by choosing 2 is the same thing that I did in my invitation process. I made it really simple. I made it an easy yes. If I show people 2 kits to start with, and I say, there are other kits available, but I think these would be the best fit for you because XYZ, because I know you want to address your immune system, and I know you want to address energy and sleep, and I know you said you need a diffuser at home. So these are the 2 kits that I suggest. Which one would be the best fit for you? Guess what? If neither of those are going to work for them, I can still provide them many other opportunities, many other options, but I've kept it really simple to start with. I don't want to overwhelm people. I want to make it an easy yes. So based on their needs, you're going to select the best option for them. Okay, so from there, you're going to have individual time with these people because you kept it short and sweet. When you keep your class to, 30 to 50 minutes max, you have more time to spend with them after. The shorter the better, as long as you're covering your basic topics, okay? When you follow the guide and you stick to the Natural Solutions Guide, it's so much simpler to keep on schedule because it's basically doing a lot of the work for you. They're going to be able to go home with this resource. They're going to be reading it while you're talking as well, which is another reason to keep it short and sweet. Because what's your intention? Your intention is to provide them with a solution for their needs. So the easiest way to do that is to get through the product experience, get through why doTERRA, get through what essential oils are, all of that beautiful, important content, but get to the solution. That's why people are in the room with you. They want to know that you can provide a solution to their need. And you get to do that really simply. So, of course, at the bottom down here, you can serve refreshments, but your main goal is going to be helping people get started. Okay? That's your intention. That's your intention, because without that, what's going to change in these people's lives? If we teach a class and we don't show them how to get the product home, what's going to be different for them in a month, in 6 months, in a year? Nothing. What's going to be different for you in your business? Nothing, right? So a big piece of being able to be an empowered solutions provider is effectively help people get started. And it's the best part. It's the best part. It's so rewarding. You get to send someone home with tools that you know they're going to use because it's based on their specific needs. And of course, you're going to support them in using those products by doing the next step, which is scheduling that lifestyle overview that we briefly went over in the first video. So this is where your Live Guide is going to come into play. Your awesome lifestyle overview booklet. It's going to let you hire the guide to teach them how to create a powerful product routine with doTERRA. Because we're helping people more by making sure that they know how to use the product they already have and that they're going to use it on a daily basis, right? So we're teaching them how to create a routine, because when we have people all over our team, including ourselves, that have a routine with the product, that's where the lives change. And that's where the snowball effect happens. That's where people get excited and they talk about the product. And it's like the movie theater effect that you'll hear me talk about. What happens when someone goes to a movie and they're like totally blown away at the end of it? What do? They leave and they tell their best friend, they tell their mom, they tell whoever they run into, when they're walking around the neighborhood. Oh, did you see this movie? It was so amazing. You got to see it. Essential oils work the same exact way. Lots of things work that way. Okay? So we want to get people excited. We want to make sure that we teach them, but we want to make sure we keep it short and sweet. We are asking what their needs are so that we can provide the appropriate solution, and we use that natural solutions guide to help people get started. It has everything we need to be able to teach, to be able to plant seeds and show people how to actually create a natural solutions lifestyle, which I love. And it shows people their kit options. Basically, all done for you. So with a book and a box, you can be an expert. And with a book and a box, your team can be experts as well, which is where that momentum comes into play for continuing your business onward. I like to make sure that I'm also scheduling that lifestyle overview with the person when they get started there at the class with me. Because then again, what have I done? I've guided them to the next step without overwhelm. They're not wondering, oh, when's Megan going to call me about that kit that I just bought? Or, when am I going to be able to figure out how to use these products? Because some people have that fear. But when you schedule that lifestyle overview at your event, it's so much easier. And you know exactly when you're going to plug people into your schedule based on your Successes Scheduled calendar. All ties together. This is another opportunity for you to ask for referrals and to book a class from your class. All about momentum, all about building your network outside of your warm market. And this is a really great way to harness the excitement of the people that are currently in your class. They're going to be, having this powerful experience with you. They're going to be motivated right now. It's going to be so much more effective for you to ask for people to host a class with you to come teach their friends or their family when they're motivated and already excited about what you just taught them. So one of the things that you can say is, oh, I bet you are already thinking of people that you know would benefit from essential oils and this experience you just had with me. If you'd like to host your own class, let's chat and we can look at my schedule. And if you book tonight, then you'll be able to take home this roller bottle or whatever it is for you. But make sure you've got your calendar in front of you as you've done every step of the way so far, because you want to be booking classes based on your availability, right? It's so much more enjoyable that way. But don't be afraid to ask for hosts, and you're going to use the share guide with them, which we'll talk about. But also don't be afraid to ask for referrals. Some people are just amazing referrers because they love talking about essential oils because they had an awesome experience with you. You created that awesome experience. Just like I talked about last week when I went to the boutique and the woman helped me pick out the perfect dress for my wedding event. Of course I'm going to send people to her because I had a fabulous time with her. Yes, she sold me a product, and yes, I willingly paid for it, but I had an amazing experience, and I want to make sure that anybody else I know that's in my local area that goes to look for a dress goes to see her. We get to provide that the same way through our essential oil business. So don't be afraid to ask for referrals. We'll have a little script for you to be able to look over for that too, and to book classes from classes, because this is going to fill your schedule through the rest of the calendar month and ideally into the following month as well. Okay, so the second part to presenting your message is when you have the opportunity to share about the business. Your business presentation is going to look different depending on who you're meeting with. But you are meeting with the people on your success tracker list that are at that phase of pipes. You've already shared and invited. You've already presented a product presentation to them. They already set up their account with you, and you've already done a lifestyle overview with them. So you know about what their needs are, and you know you have a plan for them to be using the product consistently. And you've asked them if they're open to learning a little bit more about the business, because you know that they would love to be able to pay off their student loans this year, and you want to provide them a way to do that. So you set up that business overview. What are you going to hire to help be the guide for that? The build guide. Very, very simple. You can do this virtually. You can do this in their home. You can do it in your home. You can do it at a coffee shop. I will say the nice thing about doing it in your home, when you're talking about someone who's just getting started with doTERRA, they're going to see all the ways that you use essential oils really organically. They're going to see it in your life. When they go into your bathroom, they're going to see your hand soap and your toothpaste and your skincare collection and whatever else you're using. When they're in my kitchen, they're going to see, oh, I don't have like a cabinet full of cleaning products. I have one. It's the cleaner concentrate, right? Like they're going to see my doTERRA lifestyle firsthand. This also works for lifestyle overviews, of course, as well. So the business presentation is going to be about 20 to 30 minutes. It's really going to be an opportunity for you to determine what their needs are, just like you did with the product presentation. What did you do before you presented to someone about the product? You learned about what their needs were, and you provided a solution. The business overview is the same way using the build guide. What are their needs? What do they want more of in their life? Are they doing this for compensation? Are they wanting to start a doTERRA business because of a financial need, a specific financial need? Are they wanting to just be home more? Are they wanting to have location independence and being able to travel with their family without worrying about taking time off of the job? Financial needs look different for everybody. It's like, what's their driving force for creating an income with doTERRA? Some people are going to be attached to a dollar amount because that's how much their student loan is every single month, or that's how much their car payment is, or whatever the situation is. Some people are going to be more attached to a lifestyle. Being able to go on, 2 family vacations every year. Not having to call in sick to work. Being able to stay home with their child. Whatever that looks like, learning about their situation and teaching them about building a pipeline versus hauling buckets, which is right in that build guide. This will give you another chance to talk about what makes doTERRA so special. You'll be able to talk about what it really takes to do this as a business, which you're doing firsthand by following the launch guide, and you've already gone through the build guide yourself. You'll be able to talk a little bit about the compensation plan, but I don't get heavily into that because it doesn't make sense until you're doing this as a business. So we don't want to overwhelm them, but we want to show them the income potential based on what they would like to create, what their goal is, what their need is. It also gives you a chance to help them really envision what lifestyle they would like to create and choose the path that's the most appropriate for them. You're going to go over what those next steps are, which you are living yourself right now. And it's going to be a chance for you to go over any questions that they may have. They likely have questions because they've already been living doTERRA. Maybe they've even shared a little bit, but this helps you just hone in on what their questions are, what their concerns are, overcome any obstacles, things like that. Keep it simple and focus on what their needs are. This is also an opportunity for you to do exactly what you've just done in this program using the launch guide. So you're going to set up a product presentation with them, just like you've done. Okay, this is where that momentum happens. This is where the duplication process starts. And you already know how to teach an effective presentation because you've done it using the Natural Solutions handout. You're going to teach them how to do the same exact thing. You're going to teach them how to create their list and how to share effectively and how to invite properly so that when they have their presentation, they're successful as well. Because we get to be successful with and through other people. That's really where the magic happens in this business. Helping people to reach their lifestyle goals, to earn an income based on their needs is so rewarding in this business. So that's about how you're going to present the message, whether you're talking about a product presentation or a business presentation. Hire those guides because it's all about helping people get started, whether it's with the products or the business. Okay, so when we talk about enrolling successfully, let's use some language that's very non-lingo here. I think this is really important because we have to remember that not everyone is going to be drawn to certain language. And I like to keep it very simple because I have people on my team that are customers that help people set up their accounts. So how do we help someone get started with doTERRA? Remove that lingo, then they're so much less overwhelmed because they, some people, like I said, if they're a customer and I say, and I show them how to enroll their best friend who wants to use essential oils, they're probably not going to get the same feeling as if I say, oh, let me just help you to help your best friend get started. How many lives do you want to change? How do you see yourself helping people get tools into their home? And what I mean by that is, again, like I said before, it's like we can teach people all we want. We can educate them. But if we don't show them how to get the product home onto their dresser, onto their counter, in their kitchen cabinets, what's going to change for them? Nothing. And we've got lives changed. So it is our job to make sure that we're teaching them how to get their product home at the best possible price. You've already shown them their need. You've already used their need to show them the appropriate solution, and you've given them two simple options. You've kept it super simple. You've expressed that kits are the best value, of course, because they're going to get an even deeper discount, and they're going to have a year membership. They're going to have their account access for an entire year. They're also going to have access to our free oil program, which is the loyalty rewards program. It's totally optional. There's never any obligation to be a part of it. But I tell people you'd be, why would you not be a part of it? Because every time that you order your oils or you replenish the products that you're using in your routine, doTERRA is going to not only potentially reward you with a free oil every single month just for being a loyal product user, they're going to pay you back in free product credit. You can cash that in for whatever your heart desires. I teach people to, cash that in for that oil that they've really wanted to get. And maybe it's a stretch for them. Maybe it's something like Helichrysum or Melissa. Something big, right? Something that maybe they just need an extra of. So going over the free oil program. Notice how I say free oil program. That is loyalty rewards program. I just like to use the lingo-free language, especially when I'm talking with people that are just getting started, because I have to assume that they don't know the lingo anyway, right? Because why would they? So let's see. I've already shown you how to keep it really, really simple, but you'll see on the bottom of the Enroll Successfully page here, You're going to have your enrollment tips that you can always go back to. One thing I will add is that they suggest in the launch guide enrolling everybody as a wholesale customer, unless you know that they are going to be hosting a class with you or that they would like to build a business with you. You want to enroll them as a wholesale customer because you have more options to be able to get them in the most supportive position in your organization. Okay? And we'll talk more about that when it comes to placement, but just know that when you enroll someone as a wholesale customer, you just have more options for placement because you'll be able to upgrade them and move them further down the road if you choose to. There are a couple of objections that this will show you how to overcome. You know, if they don't know what kit to order, again, even if I've kept it super simple for them, sometimes people just don't know. It's brand new. Maybe they, need a little time to decide. I can ask them, what are you working on? Let's go over your health priorities together. What kit's going to best meet your needs? People just want to know that you are understanding where they're at and that you're still going to help them with the adequate solution. If someone is expressing financial concerns, maybe choosing a kit is a stretch for them, because it is for some people. I mean, the kits are an investment in their health and their future, but that doesn't mean that it's always easy for people to make that decision. So if they address financial concerns, you can say something like, well, would you like to host a class so you can earn the money to get the kit that you really want? Because when they host, they have the opportunity to get paid directly from doTERRA for referring their friends and family and whoever else they would like to help with essential oils, just like they've had this amazing experience with you. They get to pay it forward. Okay? And the last one, if they're not sure where to start, you can say something like, would it serve you best to choose a couple of oils to address your sleep? And then you can better choose a kit in a week. Then, you can just, if you absolutely had no other way, you could have them purchase retail to get 1 or 2 oils. And then they'll be able to come back to you because they're going to run out of those oils or they're going to need something else because we can't change lives with 1 or 2 oils, right? They're going to be perhaps more ready in a week to make the investment in a kit that's going to give them more of the basics to really start changing their lives and creating that routine. And again, just like I mentioned, this is going to be your opportunity to, once they've gotten started, ask them if they are interested in free essential oils by being a part of the free oil program. Ask them if they have any friends that they think would really benefit from this information, because you're on a mission to change as many lives as you possibly can. And you want to be able to share your message with as many people as possible. If they've had an awesome experience with you, they're going to be so much more inclined to do that. So just simply ask. If you don't ask, you will never know. And the worst that can possibly happen when you ask that question is that they say no. And that's okay, because you just move on to the next one. Okay, so you are going to be practicing your presentation this week and following pages 10 and 11 in the launch guide. Also, just make sure you get really cozy with the Natural Solutions handout. Make sure you've got your class in a box, because that's going to be the easiest way to use that handout and use that to teach your very first classes. It's also going to be the easiest way to teach your team how to do the very same thing. So you're going to present based on pipes, based on where they are in pipes, okay? Whether it's product presentation or business presentation. Because you've already connected with 45 people and invited them to your class, I bet you've got 30 people saying yes to you that you've plugged into events, that you've plugged into one-on-ones or classes. So out of those 30 people, if you have a really conservative close rate of 50%, you could help 15 people get started, okay? From there, make sure you're scheduling all of your lifestyle overviews and updating your success tracker. So go back to that tracker, make sure that you find the person's name. Everybody that came to your class, make sure you've marked the date that they came to your class. And if they set up their account with you there, make sure you mark that on there so that you know the next step, you're going to complete those lifestyle overviews. Okay? So present based on pipes, help 15 people get started, schedule all of your lifestyle overviews for anybody that got started with you at your classes or one-on-ones, and update that success tracker. Your bonus pieces are going to be booking your classes from classes so you can keep your momentum up and continue to expand your network. And you're going to ask for referrals as well. Okay? So I will see you next week for support.